Hello.
Welcome back to our channel. We are finally here and filming our most requested video, how we met. But first, we would just like to say a big thank you to everyone who has subscribed. We have hit 1,000 subscribers. So we just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who has subscribed and watching our videos. We're just two random people doing random things. So we really appreciate it. And if you are watching and you're new, we hope that you hit the subscribe button and you enjoy what you're about to hear. So we are going to tell about how we met. So very plain and simple, we met on Tinder.
Tinder. Have you heard of Tinder?
Who has not heard of Tinder?
I was not familiar with Tinder thing.
Oh, really?
No. In Korea, I don't think it's not that. I don't know. Maybe just me. But I think it's not well known compared to other countries. So, yeah, I just saw like some maybe ad on YouTube or something.
So I downloaded Tinder. This was back when COVID just started in Korea and my school shut down for about a month. As everyone has experienced the COVID blues, where you just kind of get depressed, you can't go out, you can't see your friends, not doing anything, I got really bored and decided to download Tinder. Now, I've never used Tinder officially. My friends used it and they told me about it, so I know about it. I know the mechanics, but I never officially used it. But at that time, with COVID and everything, it was quite depressing. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna download Tinder and just troll people.
Troll people.
So in the beginning, my intentions of Tinder was literally just to pass my time and to laugh at people and kind of just like troll the disgusting people on there. Not that all people on there are disgusting, obviously. But that was my original goal. But after a while, I was tired of chatting in the app and I didn't want to like swipe through people anymore. It just wasn't that fun. So I didn't want to stop 100% and not use it at all. But I just didn't want to open the app anymore and go through the process. So instead, I just put my Line ID in my bio. And I was like, maybe some people could just hit me up directly and then I'll just chat them like that. And I got a few people who contacted me that way, and one was Min. So surprisingly, I did not see Min's profile. I have no idea what he said, what his pictures he chose. He saw mine, obviously, but I have no idea what his looked like at all.
So first of all, I didn't know about Tinder thing. Like, I don't think it's that popular in Korea, but I saw like advertisement and oh my god, I should just try. And at the time, I wasn't kind of having a hard time in my life, so I just wanted to do something different. And yeah, I just let's try this app. And then I saw your picture. It was like red hair and like braids, right?
Yeah.
The two ways. Yeah, it was very interesting. The feeling of you. But she had a Line ID, so I just texted her.
So how long did you use Tinder?
Actually, it was very short.
Oh, it was really short?
I think that's one day. That's the day.
So you had no like real intentions on like what you were looking for?
Yeah, I wasn't really like, oh, I'm gonna do this or not, like something like that. I just, let's meet people.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So Min contacted me first. Yeah, he was very straightforward. Yes, he was very straightforward in what he had in mind. So I don't know what you're saying. I had no purpose in downloading Tinder. I don't believe that at all. Because he was very straightforward.
That's true. Yeah.
This was Saturday. Yeah, he messaged me Saturday. Saying, what are you doing Sunday at midnight? And I was like, sleeping. You were like, oh, can I come over or something? And I was like, and do what? Obviously beating around the bush, but we all knew what for. We kind of just joked around a lot.
Yeah.
We joked a lot. I think our humor really really balanced each other. We were both sarcastic and we just bounced off very well. And also he's very good in English. Not that that was like something I looked for or anything like that, but it just made our conversation even more smoother. Like, I can write and talk in Korean, but I cannot tell the jokes that I like to tell in Korean. Mm-hmm. And surprisingly, Min could tell jokes and understand my jokes in English, which was like, I'm like, oh, this dude's so funny. And he seemed like a normal dude. So I was like, okay, sure, yeah, you can come over. Haha, we chatted. But inside I have actually social anxiety, so meeting people, especially new people and any kind of situation like that, I don't do. I think at the beginning I was trolling Min, maybe, or I was just like playing along, not necessarily trolling you, but I was just like, sure. But in my mind, I wasn't like, yeah, he's actually gonna come over. And it wasn't until we started like really talking that I realized, oh wow, this dude's actually really funny. I got no bad vibes. He didn't send me no dick pic in 2 messages. He was a little bit forward on like, what was I doing? But other than that, it wasn't like that alarming. So I was like, why not? So we chatted for like a while. Obviously that was Saturday all the way into Sunday, all throughout Sunday. And then come Sunday night, he had to come up from Suwon into Gangnam. But somewhere in our chatting and joking around and talking, I was like, how are you going to get back home? Assuming he was going to come over, do the deed, and then normally would go home. But he was to come at midnight. And I lived in Gangnam, and Min lived in Suwon, which is not far, but it's far enough. There's no subway line. He has to take a bus. He would already be taking the last night bus to get to my place. So I'm like, how is he going to get back home? He's like, can I stay the night? I'm like, what? And I was like, oh, anxiety started peaking. I was like, is he going to bring COVID? Is he going to kidnap me? I don't know. So I was like, yeah, sure. I don't know. I guess like the vibe I got from him was very genuine. I really liked, how we connected. So somewhere in my social anxiety-ness just disappeared for like one day. And I was like, sure, yeah, you can come over. But it definitely came back very fast when it started coming time closer for him to come. But before he came, he was asking some random ass things like, did I have water? And I was like, yes, I have water. He's like, but how much water? He asked, did I have nail clippers? I can kind of get why he asked that. And then he asked me, did I have a TV? And I was like, yeah. I was like, is this dude gonna rob me? I was like, does he want my TV? But he wants to make sure his nails are clipped and he's thirsty. Come to find out, he drinks a lot of water.
This sounds scary.
Yeah, right? So it was very like, I was like, oh my gosh.
Water.
But I can only imagine, what were you thinking on your bus ride to my house?
What was I thinking?
Yeah.
So this is an online meeting. I mean, you met with online, and we always have to kind of concerned about being kidnapped and killed by someone. Because I heard, like, I saw on the news that people who made online, they were like sold to other countries, literally in Korea. Yeah, there's those stories. And like, okay, why should I say yes? Because normally, the first meeting, you normally meet outside, like public place. And she just like, okay, you can come.
Now, prior to Min, I only have had 2 relationships in my life, and they were both with girls. And my last relationship being, at that time, 7 years. So it has been 7 years since I was even in a relationship. and let alone with a guy. So I'm like, literally my head's going to explode. I was like, what am I doing? All my friends are asleep. They're not answering me. I'm like, I don't know. So anyways, fast forward to Min has finally arrived. Ding dong at my door. And obviously in Korea we have the lovely monitors so we can see the people at our door. And ding dong, I looked and I'm like, okay, it's not a catfish. He looks different from the pictures, but I think we all look different from the pictures we have online. But he wasn't a complete catfish. He was who he was. So I was like, okay, that's safe. So he came in, we just chilled on my couch, and it was like a little bit awkward, obviously. Because since he's staying there all night, it's not like, oh, come over, boom, boom, and then leave, you know? So there wasn't like any rush, I guess. I don't know. So we just chilled on my couch, and I was like, oh, we should watch a movie. So we put on Jumanji, but we ended up not really watching it.
Just talking.
We were just talking. We just talked and talked and talked. We just sat on my couch and we just talked all the way until the movie ended. We just vibed very well. And one thing that I really liked about Min, I really respected, was even though he was kind of direct in his messaging in the beginning, after that he wasn't really direct or mentioned anything about like, oh, he wants to have sex or wants to do anything. It was just like us talking and being ourselves. And so yeah, even when he came, we were just ourselves. We just chatted. There was no pressure or anything. So it wasn't until like the end of the movie till I guess we carried on after that. So anyways, the next day comes, he's supposed to go home. But I'm like, okay, we can have lunch. We watch some Netflix. We start watching some Netflix shows. And we're literally Netflixing and chilling. We're doing the definition of Netflix and chill. Like, that's literally all we did. And then it was the end of the day. We would eat dinner. And then it was so late. We're like, oh, he just stayed another night.
Yeah,
it went by so fast. You were literally planning on going home. And then the next day came. And then he ended up staying for like 2.5 days. Right? Yeah. He ended up staying for 2.5 days. Because I didn't work.
I was at school.
Oh.
Yeah, I was in class. And I needed to go. But it was online class.
Oh.
So I didn't need to go. And I can just took the classes later.
So now it's like Tuesday, I believe. And Min finally has to go home. He has to go home. He has to do...
Yeah, I had to go back to my house and to take classes. And I didn't have underwear, like extra underwear.
Yeah,
everything.
That's true. So he went home and we just kept chatting. But I was very strict on saying I did not want a relationship. Like, we can have a F-buddy relationship, whatever you want to call it. But I did not want a relationship because I think at that time, since I was single for so long, I built a path in my brain, like my future, that I was going to be solo. I was going to be traveling a lot. I had like this whole idea what my future was going to be, and it was not necessarily with somebody. So I was like, I don't want anything. And Min was kind of, he didn't say he didn't, but he didn't say he did. He was just like, whatever, I guess, right?
I think wanted to meet a person who I can talk to, like I can tell my mind, like my feelings, everything.
And we just kept chatting, for the rest of the week, all the way until probably the next Sunday. And then he ended up coming back up. I think that Sunday night, you ended up doing the same kind of bus thing. You ended up coming right back up, but this time he was a little bit more prepared and brought his books and laptop. And then we pretty much just stayed in my house until the weekend came when he had to go back down to do his job. He did that for like a couple weeks. And then the third week, I was like, oh, I'm going to go down to your place. Then I went down to his place. I stayed there for a couple of days and then went back to my place. And then my work opened back up. And then that's when Min really started going to my house because I couldn't go down to Suwon anymore because I work. So Min pretty much like partially moved into my house, right? For like a month. He would only go back down to Suwon on the weekends for his job. Suddenly, you couldn't keep coming up to my place.
I went judo gym.
And it was closed for a little bit because of COVID.
Yes. And
And
it
then-
opened again. So I went to go to judo.
And he went to
that's what I
judo
like.
and jujitsu. And
Yeah.
they were pretty much like every other day. So it was like all day. It was like every day. He had to go to the gym. It was like really a big part of his life. So he couldn't come up to my house anymore. So then we spent maybe like a week or two where he wasn't at my house. And I only went to his house on the weekends. So that was probably like the biggest gap apart we spent.
A week.
Was like those 2 weeks. After like the second week of me going back down to his place, I didn't want to go all the way back to my house. So then I was like, oh, I can go to my work from his house. It's just like a little bit longer.
A little bit
Quite long.
longer.
But I can do it. So I was like, I will just go to work on Monday and then after Monday go back to my house. But after I made the trip to work on Monday, I was like, oh, the trip's not that bad. So I was like, okay, maybe I could just stay down in his place. So I went back home, got more stuff, and slowly I just kind of make like a circle. I went to work, went to my house, got some stuff, went back down to Min's house, went to work, went back down, and I did this circle. And then finally, until I had enough stuff, I just stayed at Min's house. And I lived there all the way until we moved and got our own place together. But still, technically, we were not officially together.
No.
Now, there was a time about 3 months into our weird relationship thing that we went to my friend's Cinco de Mayo party, and he didn't know anyone there.
No.
But it was all my friends, and they were like, Jay, who are you guys together? Like, who is that? Who is that? And so instead of trying to explain that we are not together, to make it simple, we just told people that we were together. But even after that, telling people we were together, I don't think like mentally 100% we were like, yeah, we're together. Like we're boyfriend, girlfriend. And I think even to this day, we never asked, and I don't think we never really needed to ask.
Yeah, we just feel
Yeah.
just feel and connected. Like we feel connected to each other. We just a little bit like miss the timing too. Like it's so weird. Like it's like suddenly I cannot say like, oh, will you be my girlfriend?
Yeah, because then
And just why not?
yeah, obviously.
It was quite weird timing.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much how it went. I just stayed at his house, and then we became official unspokenly just through time.
But I like that because it shows we can be connected without saying like, would you be my girlfriend, boyfriend?
Yeah.
You know, we just feel inside that, oh, we are connected and we're together.
Yes. Yeah.
So I think in some way I did better.
Yeah. I
You know?
agree. I think it's kind of good. We had no pressure of like, will you be my girlfriend? And like, we didn't really have to worry about labels necessarily. We just did what we did. We were just us. There was no honeymoon phase because there was no going to the movies and let's go on this cute date. It was pretty much our raw selves from the very beginning. Since we were not labeling ourselves as girlfriend and boyfriend, we didn't really find the need to impress the other person. So we were just who we are. Like I didn't care like what I did or how I acted per se because I wasn't looking for anything. When you're first dating someone, you know, you dress really nice, you want to go take them to the nice place, you try to be on your best behavior.
But we just
We skipped that whole thing. We just skipped it all. So technically, since the day we met, we have been living together. There was a few times where we did like a week or two, but other than that, we've pretty much been living together. And I say that is quite amazing because even people who've been dating for a long time and they move in together, they cannot handle each other. There's like, you know, things that you find out that you didn't know because you're with them 24/7. because I think you truly find out who someone is when you're living with them. You see how they are, cleanliness, their mannerisms, day and night. You can find out financially how stable they are. Just every little thing that might not show when you're just on that few hour date outside.
True.
A lot of people knock Tinder, and I would say yes, probably about a good 99% of the people on there are probably not looking for a solid relationship. I wasn't even looking for one. But you meet who you meet, and you never know in the end. Of course, always be safe, because you can probably meet some really crazy people. We got very lucky. We didn't kidnap each other. So, but yeah, that's pretty much how we met. We met on Tinder, and we had no mind to build a relationship, but it just so happened. And I found the love of my life. And I'm so happy. But yeah, if you guys have any more specific questions about meeting his parents, or about my parents, or whatever, you can comment down below, and we read all of our comments. We reply to everyone if we can. So thank you guys for watching, and thank you so much for the 1,000 subscribers. We are so grateful and thankful. If you are not already following our Instagram, it is listed down below, so you can go ahead and follow that. We plan on going live on there in the near future, just to chat with people.
Yes.
And
we want to meet you guys.
Yeah, we want to meet you guys and talk to you guys, and maybe we could show you a little bit around Korea. You can like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And until next time, we'll see you.
Bye.
Bye.